Scott Atlas, he's the guy that this Washington Post article is really shedding a lot of light on, but he's, to some people, not a new name. He is to me, because I don't watch Fox News, but we're gonna tell you all that we found out about him. So he's a neuroradiologist from Stanford's conservative Hoover Institute. By the way, not an expert on infectious disease. He's a doctor, which is why they're lifting him up, but not on infectious disease and its spread. So bear that in mind. It might be an explanation, by the way, as to why he's been so consistently wrong about this one. So he's advocated that the US should adopt the model that Sweden has used in response to the virus outbreak. He's argued both internally and in public that an increased case count will move the nation more quickly to herd immunity and won't lead to more deaths if the vulnerable are protected. That is dumb when he said it before it was tested. Every day it gets stupider. The Sweden thing, I just love, because conservatives in America have virtually never pointed to another country to say that's what we should do. They did it for the first time, and it made me long for the days when they only cared about America, because they could not have gotten it more wrong than they did. So let's bring up Sweden. So Dr. Tom Frieden compared the death count. So this is deaths per million people. I understand if you're on a small screen, you can't read all those labels. So let me summarize. There's a bunch of numbers down at the bottom. Those are Sweden's neighbors geographically. The two numbers at the top are the US and Sweden. Sweden's a little bit higher than us in deaths per million, actually. 6 times higher than all of its geographic neighbors. So they've decided to point to a country that has failed on American levels to address this pandemic with their boneheaded strategy of herd immunity, which basically just means not doing anything. All the countries around them took it more seriously and have had far fewer deaths and have suffered less economically, because what turns out that when people keep dying every day for literally months, that hurts your economy. Now, it was stupid when they said it at the beginning. When the initial weeks of evidence back in March and April showed that Sweden wasn't doing a great job in this, they're still doing it despite months of evidence that it's failed. They don't care that it failed, because their audience, the people that are eating this up on Fox News and Twitter, hear Sweden model and think, oh, some other country did it. If I talk about this, I'm gonna sound cosmopolitan, like I understand what's going on around the world. I'm not gonna do a damn second of research, I'm just gonna say it. And so that chart is more information about this debate than literally anyone talking about on Twitter will actually have. So that's the strategy that we should follow.
It makes me feel good that another country is getting it as wrong as we are. We're 328 million, Sweden is 10 million people. 10 million people. And they still have the same million, you're right, one LA. They're on par with deaths per million. Wow, wow, what a failure. Good God, not just kind of a failure, not just a Brazil failure, like a worse than the US failure you're lifting up here.
And yes, a worse than US failure being lifted up. That is a great way to summarize Scott Atlas. So why is Atlas one of the top advisors of the president on this? I'm gonna tell you in a second, but you already know what it is. What is the one qualification? Okay, maybe there's two qualifications. See, you're doing the money symbol, Francesca. That's a good point in general. Yes, the money thing is a good thing, but for Trump specifically, yeah, in general, for Trump, it's loyalty, but loyalty by itself doesn't necessarily get you noticed. What gets you noticed? Appearances on Fox News. He's appeared 20 times on Fox News since the end of April, despite the fact that his appearances universally show him making terrible predictions and terrible ideas of what's gonna happen. In March, he predicted that there would be 10,000 deaths from COVID. In the end, only 10,000. In April, he said that the pandemic appears to be entering the containment phase. In May, he said the curves have been flattened. More recently, he's been telling people that we should totally reopen schools because kids don't spread coronavirus to their parents, which is as wrong as all of his other previous predictions. But in America, particularly in DC, nothing moves you up like being wrong. And so he's now one of the top medical advisors of the president, despite having no expertise in infectious diseases and a track record of being as wrong on the pandemic as, like, I don't know, Navarro and Mnuchin have been on the economy. He could not be more wrong. He said on April 13th, we now need to re-enter normal life and continuing full this is on the Hill, by the way, continuing full population isolation and waiting for a vaccine would be doubling down and yielding to panic. And in his defense, he has never yielded to panic. He said on April 13th, we should re-enter normal life. That was like 120,000 deaths ago. And he hasn't changed his position. He hasn't panicked even when any rational person would.
This is what awaits us if we have 4 more years of Trump. I mean, I'm wondering how many like Hoover Institute rejects are going to be on Fox and then funneled up. And once again, I believe that if there are 4 more years, we will recycle back through all of the Trump administration officials once they're done with Dancing with the Stars, or they are the stars dancing with themselves. And it scares me, you know. I mean, I feel like that, like I am. If you want to go outside, and this is what the Democrats need to be saying every single breath. Trump did this, and if you want to go outside, if you want to eat in a restaurant again, if you want your kids to go to school safely again, if you want to go to work again, if you don't want to have your job be complete, like vanish on you essentially, because you know corporations are going to be taking advantage of people working at home to further and further squelch them and make them do more work from home, et cetera, et cetera. If you want any of that, Trump needs to be gone. This, it's just basic. It is basic. So like, yes, Biden's a neoliberal, Kamala's a neoliberal. You know what neoliberals do well? They make things safe for business. They know how to like get things going because they do like global capitalism. But like MAGA idiots and Trump at the helm, you know, they are like, they're just strongman populism who believe that they can force a reality on a population and force people back to work when everything around us is telling us the opposite. So like, I get that people want to say they're the same. They're incredibly not the same.
Yeah,
I mean, we're headed. This is just like, look, dude. After the RNC, I'm like, North Korea is taking notes. North Korea's like, didn't think of that. Done and done and done. You know, so if we don't think, what's this dude's name again? Scott.
Which one? Scott Atlas.
Scott Atlas. Scott Atlas shrugged. Scott Atlas shrugged at all of the deaths because you know our bodies will feed the market. Exactly. Hey, I want to get back to Democrats who believe that we should be actually in the workforce, not trampled underneath it with our death.
Capitalism is people. It's people.
Markets are people. This is the whole point.
Shove us into the machine. Shove us into the machine and just grind us up. Yes. And as they're being shoved into the machine, Trump fans are shouting, more, 4 more years, 4 more, blah, blah. And that's what it is.
Yes. Because if you died for the cause of the fantasy. You died for the dream, baby.
Yeah.
You died for the dream that COVID's not real.
There's a quiet dignity to that. Well, it's not quiet and it's not dignity, but there's something to that. Yeah, and who thinks the next pandemic's gonna go? Oh, Trump will take the next one more seriously after he's been taught that he can win re-election when doing nothing for the first one. My God, to have been, you know how bad I wanted to be wrong after 2016 about what was gonna happen? I never predicted any of this. This is so much worse. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.